Starfield, the greatest disappointment in modern gaming history. Well, at the bare minimum, at least in Bethesda's modern history. Granted, obviously, only until Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 5 hits the third tower. Because every single fan of Bethesda, a real fan, not these slop-loving Elder Scrolls Online playing losers, knows that modern Bethesda cannot be trusted with making anything. They will ruin everything. I mean, literally, 2 days ago, Todd Howard was talking about how DLSS 5 is gonna be great. Well, technically, it does make Starfield better because the game's garbage, but that's not the point here, honestly. The rumors of Starfield 2.0 have been vast, have been large, and I have milked them a lot, obviously. You know it, boys, you know it. Anyway, these rumors from day one, I instantaneously said, are fake. And then Bethesda literally came out and said, well, we're not actually gonna do a Cyberpunk redemption story. We can't, we're stupid, we're clueless, we're talentless, we're complete garbage at our job, in fact. Fire everyone. Fire everyone at Bethesda start over. Microsoft, you have the technology, and you definitely have the connection to India to do that. In any case, there is more information about Starfield, the absolute modern-day devil of Bethesda. That's gonna be forgotten the moment Elder Scrolls 6 hits the fan, because, man, that game is gonna be Disappointment City. Starfield has effectively proven, pretty much to everyone, let's face it, everyone watching this video knows that Bethesda cannot be trusted making Elder Scrolls 6, that they're gonna fail. Starfield, then Starfield Shattered Space, which was a double down on the shitty mechanics and choices, and now a bunch of influencers, what a dumb name, have been invited to Bethesda to wine and dine and completely not get paid off with access, because nowadays everyone gets paid off with access, not actual money, which is a massive downgrade. I would personally appreciate the money. To tell you that the future of Starfield is great. It's great, boys. Trust. You know, don't think about it. Why are you thinking? Can't you just accept what people tell you? Your eyes are lying to you, and your logics don't logic. Okay, trust what other people tell you. It's great. Starfield's great. Bethesda's doing well.
Last week, Bethesda Game Studios invited me and several others out to their studio to get a peek at the future of Starfield. I got to visit the Maryland studio itself, and yeah.
Oh, Madeline, I thought the place was gonna be hell.
Yeah, I was a long fan before I even made these videos, so that was a pretty insane and genuinely special experience. I got to see the famous wall and even meet Todd Howard himself. But of course, what is most relevant to this video is the plethora of updates and general changes coming to Starfield. And well, yeah, we all knew stuff was coming. I think the value being offered here is the genuinely surprising part. Today, Starfield got a new update.
Man, you know he's gonna lie a lot. Boys, also, what's in the cup? What's in the cup? What do you think? It's crude oil. From Iran.
Or at least it should have, assuming the information I was provided is correct. And while I don't know the extent of what this update adds in, at least one thing getting changed is the Trackers Alliance. Remember that $7 Trackers Alliance paid mod? It was a new bounty hunting feature added into the game for free, and then...
Wait, what do you mean $7? Did they discount it? First it was $10, what do you mean $7? Did they actually discount it?
Bethesda also had a $7 paid quest to go along with it. It's a cool concept, you become a bounty hunter, but for $7 it was one new mission and a new weapon that didn't even work properly on release.
It did not work for months after release. The whole reward of that quest is effectively this sniper rifle right here, and you couldn't reload it. And that was a bug in the game for at least 1 month after release. You paid for Bethesda to make fun of you, effectively.
But with today's Starfield update, 5 new missions were added to the Trackers Alliance. These don't cost additional money, it's just included in the original $7 purchase. So if you already own this, you could download the new update and try the new content. Even further, we're going to talk about Terran Armada.
Ah, yes, so if you already own this, interesting, but no one owns it.
Armada, the next Starfield DLC in this video. It's coming this April, and the DLC is only going to be $10, but it's also included with the Premium Edition. So if you already own the
Oh my god, $10! $10! The boys, you need to understand how bad that is. And not in the sense that it's greedy. Honestly, it should be free. But the point is, it's $10. When was the last time you heard of a AAA company making a DLC for a current generation right now happening game that costs $10? This is a first, I think. Wow, they are desperate. And needless to say, it does make sense, because think about it. When Shattered Space dropped, the graph went like this. And then there was Shattered Space, was right here. If you don't know Shattered Space dropped at that point, you don't even know what's happening. You don't even know, you won't even notice the increase in players. Shattered Space was a record setter for no one giving a shit. And keep in mind, Shattered Space was also free for the vast supermajority of players who own Starfield.
Premium Edition, you're just going to get this next DLC for free. It included Shattered Space, and now it includes Terran Armada also. And Starfield's Premium Edition is getting even cheaper. Starfield's getting a price cut to $50, with the Premium Edition going to $70. But perhaps best of all, the most exciting new content to me was from Starfield's Freelanes update. This is dropping totally for free for everyone on April 7th, which includes the release of Terran Armada, as well as Starfield's release on PS5, so all of that's going to happen at the same time. Freelanes is the big one. It's the overhaul to planet travel, so now you can actually explore and spend time in space, and they added a ton of content around this to justify spending time here, including a bunch of new space encounters. But this is extended to planets too. There are new encounters on planets, as well as a point.
Space cannot be saved in Starfield because the dogfights are just abysmal ass. So it doesn't honestly matter what they do with space. It just feels bad. There's no other way to put it.
Point of interest overhaul, and a variety of other changes to the game, and well, no, they're not calling this Starfield 2.0.
You know how you know it's gonna be bad? Because this is a preview segment. You can tell from the fucking artsy camera zoom, which means this is a real location in the game, and this is one of the probably 10 handcrafted locations. So this is why it does look a little bit better than the typical slop, but this is gonna be like 1 out of 5 places that you get to visit that doesn't look like AI generated garbage.
They definitely could have. I can't tell you if Starfield will suddenly be a fun game for you after all of this new.
No, it won't. The core of Starfield is bad, stupid, underpolished, undercooked garbage. The skill trees are bad, the story is stupid, the exploration is pitiful, the shops are bad. Everything about the game is literally bad. There is nothing that can be added on top of a pile of shit to suddenly change it.
Content drops, but at the very least, Starfield's about to get a ton of new stuff. And for many of you that already own the Premium Edition, you don't have to spend any more money to gain access.
Considering he has already said this thing that it's free for Premium Edition holders like 5 times, I have a feeling that Bethesda has watched this video before release.
To this. And even if you don't own it, all of this will be available to you at a cheaper price now. And as we dive deeper into all of this, I think you'll find there are some really interesting changes coming to Starfield. This is definitely Bethesda at least trying something to create that moment for Starfield, and time will tell if this all works or not. But one thing I definitely have to mention is bias. I got to see Bethesda's offices and was provided 2 nights in a hotel by them, which of course can influence my opinions here, and almost certainly is. Because
well, don't worry about it. It's like the Act-Man said when he called Payday 3 a masterpiece and the next big thing in gaming, and, you know, we all know how that ended. Don't worry!
Bethesda were insanely welcoming at their offices. I'm going to talk more about
Of course they were.
all of that and my experience there at the end of this video, because first and foremost, I have a lot to say about Starfield and even what Todd Howard had to say about its future, as we did get a free reign question and answer session with Todd Howard. Starfield's Freelanes update is
I'm sure those questions and answers were very deep, very sophisticated.
in interplanetary travel within systems, and new features built around this, making it a lot more fun and interesting. And an important disclaimer.
Okay, let's analyze this footage right here. What the fuck actually even happens? Okay, so You're close to this planet. It looks like you're in an asteroid field?
Freelanes update is adding in interplanetary travel within systems, and new features built around this, making it a lot more
Wait, did the planet even fucking move? Did it even move for a nanometer?
features built around this, making
No, it doesn't! It didn't move! It didn't move, did it? I have never seen this,
features
by the way.
built around this, making it systems, and new features built around this.
Okay. So, it just pushes the scenery. Okay, so, yeah, people are gonna love people are gonna love this. Oh my god. Oh, if only there was anyone left to hate this game, people would mock the shit out of this.
Making it a lot more fun and interesting. And an important disclaimer, all of the background footage was provided by Bethesda. I got to see someone play all of this live in front of me, but I didn't get to go hands-on myself. The core Freelane
Oh, played live in front of you. I wonder if we're actually dealing with a Witcher 4 tech demo situation in that case. Wait. Why do you get invited to an event to play the game and you're not even allowed to play the... Wait, you just got to watch? Did they give you like a chair in the corner or something? What the fuck? What?
is this new cruise mode. It's an option available when you're in space in your ship, and it basically puts you into an open space travel mode. And here, things are going to be different. You can just start traveling around space if you want to. You can boost much faster here and even fly past planets fully, or even try to get close to them. Technically, you can manually fly around to things. It'll just be pretty difficult to line things up.
What the fuck is this for?
Fly around to things, it'll just be pretty difficult.
Is that a pebble?
To line things up. To manually fly around to things, it'll just be pretty difficult to line
This looks so fucking weird.
things up, but there's also going to be a ton of space encounters that you'll notice around you, with the real intended use of cruise mode to be with this new autopilot feature, so you can lock on to a space encounter or location, and then just have your ship automatically fly there. From here, you're free to get up and explore the rest of your ship, or even interact with your crew, just doing things on your spaceship, and you can track what's going
Yeah, I definitely want to interact with my favorite cum dumpster, Sarah Morgan. She is best girl, shut up.
on via your HUD. There'll even be a countdown on the segment of your HUD telling you when you're going to arrive. And then basically once you arrive, you sit back down to transition into that encounter. But this finally giving Starfield those outer space moments. Part of this is you could just
Yeah, it doesn't feel that good, not gonna lie. She seems fucking stupid.
leave cruise mode on and wander around your spaceship as it's flying through space if you want to. Beyond that, you'll notice some new visuals and sounds around cruise mode. I think this really adds to the experience overall. It was more obvious when I saw this being played live in front of me and you could listen to it, but it does capture this sereneness that I just don't think the background footage here conveys. You can kind of just hang out in space in Starfield now, and it's actually pretty cool. But of course, a huge part of this is the encounters you have in space. A bunch of these will pop up around you and you can go and seek them out yourself as you're exploring.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is 100 times better system than previously, but when you're upgrading from -100, even -80 seems like not that bad. And this, as I can already tell you, is better than what we had, but is not actually a good system. All of this seems just kind of repetitive, pointless junk, actually. And let's be real, how many encounters are you going to have there? Like 4 unique encounters? 5 unique encounters? The Bethesda magic touch and maybe a 6th hidden encounter? Ooh, yeah, I'm not buying it.
Or you might just be traveling somewhere and actually forced out of cruise by some kind of hostile incursion or encounter. And these space encounters are going to be a mix of new and old content. So sometimes you will just be fighting typical enemies or getting those old space encounters like with Grandma, but also there are going to be some new random encounters in space. A bunch of which you could see in the B-roll, but it also seems like some of the new encounters are going to be more unique and introducing a bit more memorable content. A major one being Anchor Point. This is going to be a new location that will provide quests and other content for you to access. One of the quest rewards you'll get from this is a Millie Whale pet. This being a new pet that you could take back to your outpost and basically just have as a pet in Starfield that you can play with. But my understanding is you sort of just have to find
This is the literally fucking Tainted Grail. They took this from Tainted Grail.
find this content, this anchor point location, by exploring around in Freelanes. It's not like you have a set location you travel to, you just travel around and might stumble upon it. Although they do describe how the space encounters are tailored to the system you're currently in. So you might encounter the United Colonies, but it's only going to happen where that makes sense. And while there are a bunch of new resources added into the game to enhance your character even further, and you can get these via Freelanes, there is a really important point I need to make here, and it's when you can use this feature. A lot of people are likely—
I'm sorry, have you already encountered like 3 boss characters and all of them are literally fucking women? I mean, really, 3 new NPCs and all of them are a woman somehow. Very cool.
A lot of people are likely looking at this and like, oh cool, Starfield's travel is completely overhauled. But Freelanes is only for travel within a system. So nothing about Starfield's travel is being replaced with this update. All of the old methods of travel are still fully intact.
God, that looks so fucking insane because it looks like a pebble. It looks like a pebble.
The game. So if you're trying to get from New Atlantis to Aquila City, it's still going to look like this. Freelanes doesn't change that interaction because they're 2 totally different systems. So while yes, Freelanes definitely overhauls travel.
Okay, so that's what it is in only the system. Kind of predictable, but nice to know that that's the confirmation.
The big question is, how often are you actually transiting within a singular system? Because that's going to be the only time Freelanes kicks in. Starfield has a massive amount of content that many of you have never experienced, but that wasn't edited for this update. Most of the major quest lines will have a ton of system-to-system travel. That was a big part of the game's design.
Okay, how many chair animations are we gonna deal with now?
Going to all of these various systems. So while yeah, there are definitely some moments within systems, particularly in Soul, Freelane seems like something that might feel somewhat separate even still. It's an opportunity for more organic exploration in space from time to time during quests, but I think the majority of time you're using this feature, you're going to specifically be seeking it out. Like, oh yeah, I want to go fly around space for a bit and explore those free lanes, as opposed to trying to get to a different location naturally and using a free lane to get there. Sure, that'll happen sometime, but I don't think it's going to be happening most of the time. Although of course, hopefully as more mods and other content comes out after this update, we'll get more—
Wait, what just happened right there?
Although of course, hopefully—
Okay, so there's the Bree, and then we activate the super speed hyperdrive.
as more mods and
It just vanishes! Oh my god, it just vanishes! Nothing moves, but it just— oh my lord, that's so fucking ass.
other content comes out after this update, we'll get more content within the system. And Bethesda was clearly aware of this, because the other major aspect of this update are new resources to discover, and of course, many of these can be discovered via free
Oh boy, resources, that's exciting, said no one.
lanes. Several new things are being added to Starfield that give you ways to enhance your character, this being X-Tech weapon upgrades and even action figures. It basically seems like these are going to be found—
Did anyone even use weapon upgrade benches? My god, the game like pretty much fucking hides this shit from you. So I'm pretty sure no one cares. And if you need resources, this is how Starfield functions. Go to a vendor, infinity resource. They're cheap, they're plentiful, that's it. If you want even more infinity, make an outpost. Complete infinity resources. So you're definitely skipping that useless garbage pot.
But this exploration overhaul is multi-pronged. As much as, yeah, there'll be new things to encounter and find in space, they're also finally giving us a proper point of interest upgrade. They're making edits to some of the existing points of interest, so the frequency by which these could pop up, as well as the cooldown on you seeing the same one once or twice, was tweaked, so hopefully there's just going to be more variety in general, but of course, in addition, they also added in a bunch of new points of interest. One of these is going to be very notable as it includes this new moon jumper vehicle.
Wow.
It's basically a new land vehicle that has a very high boost for moon jumping, but the only way to unlock this for yourself is by finding it at a random point of interest. Or not random, it's this point of interest, but it'll spawn randomly on a planet. So you basically have to go out exploring to unlock a cool new vehicle to keep, and as you can see from some of the B-roll, there are a variety of other new points of interest being added as well. We didn't get concrete numbers on how many, but it seems like a decent couple. And overall, this is clearly Bethesda's swing at some of the exploration complaints around Starfield. And honestly, I don't know. A lot of this sounds really good, new ways to explore, but also the key part, new reasons to go out exploring. But I don't think it's easy to gauge how good this will or won't be. How tedious is some of this new content going
Okay, let's actually check. Okay, well, what the fuck is happening here? Okay, so we have a a crane, and for what fucking reason exactly? Wait. So you have this thing that can fly, and you decide to make a two-story fucking building, so you can use cranes instead of just putting it on the floor level, and they're just doing. And then what the fuck is this? Like, okay, whoever is making this is autistic and should go fucking keep just sticking to watching trains zoom by.
This will or won't be. How tedious is some of this new content going to be to play? It still seems like a lot of the times you have to decide to go out exploring, as opposed to naturally stumbling upon some of this content like it was in past games. The points of interest overhaul, less so. It seems like you will stumble upon some of that content, but when it comes to Freelanes, it seems like you will have to go out and seek that more. Although, if you do have a desire for a more powerful character, which of course basically everyone does, there is going to be plenty of incentive to keep us going out there. And I will say, I'm excited to try all of this. I feel like with the Freelanes in particular, it feels like it's making Starfield far more of a space game, or at least a game where you spend time in open space doing things. If you think about it, beforehand, you didn't do that all that often unless you were just in active dogfights. And at the end of the day, everything I just talked about is getting added to the game for free. If you're already on Starfield, I think there's clearly enough going on here to at least try out some of the stuff. They're making big enough changes for that. But of course, there is even more beyond that. They're overhauling a bunch about the Starborn and Unity. Starborn powers can now be upgraded with quantum essence. You don't have to keep jumping through Unity to upgrade these powers. And you can even hotkey quantum essence now, which enables you to string together powers and feel like a genuine god in Starfield. They're basically making
Oh, dude, like there's only like one power that actually people use because everything else is fucking ass. Oh, also these powers trivialize the game on every level. The game's already fucking bad. Now it's gonna be trivial?
making the Starborn aspect of the game a lot more usable, and if you invest into these powers and you gain enough essence, you can really live out that god power fantasy, doing things that other characters just can't. But they're also addressing Unity in losing all of your items. They're adding in a new device that you can build that'll make it so you can save items while going through the Unity, and you can even expand the slots on this by using more quantum essence. So both X-Tech and quantum essence kind of get upgrades in Starfield to be a lot more usable and almost grindable. It seems like more reasons to stick around in the late game, but also having a lot of benefits for the player if you do so. They added in a universal chest for outposts, so you put items in this chest and you can access it from any of the other universal chests that you could build at other outposts. They implemented
That is so wild. It took them literally forever to do the same shit that they did in Fallout 76. Wow.
a database feature, which is huge. Basically, this shows you all of the
Why would you care about any of this?
planets with cities on them. You could sort by planets with a certain resource type, so just if you're looking for one thing, find the planets with it. You can see the planets that are hosting your outposts and a bunch more. There's going to be a game-changing feature for both those in the early to mid-game, but also those really deep into Starfield. It's a singular spot in the menu where you can see all of the info about the game map and the planets on it. And it has a ton of sorting options, so you could find exactly what you're looking for and figure out where it is. And more. That still quite isn't everything in the Freelanes update. There's other things like a new zoom out option for some of the larger ships and even new enemy modifiers, although I think some of that's part of the DLC, so we'll talk more in a moment. But yeah, this is definitely a big swing for Starfield. A ton of new content is dropping all at once with this update.
This does not seem like new content, by the way. This seems like Fallout 76ification. This is what these shitty companies do, like Blizzard. They made Diablo 4 and they're now making it in Diablo 3 because they don't know what to do to make the game good. So they're doing something that previously was done and not everyone hated but still killed the game. So a lot of this is 76, by the way. You can do this in Fallout 76. A lot of these mechanics are from it.
And Bethesda did mention how this was deliberate. Rather than having some of the more frequent updates like they did in year 1, this time around they wanted to wait, hold a bunch of this content, and do one big moment for the game. And I do honestly wonder what impact this will have on the game. Tons of PlayStation 5 players out there will only play Starfield with its years of improvements.
To be fair, this at least is kind of cool.
The addition of Freelanes. Depending on how much better all of this makes exploration feel, could we really see the reception around Starfield start to turn here? Could it be PS5 players that end up loving the game the most, ironically? I know I'm definitely excited. Talking to others at the event while we were walking out of the presentation, many were questioning why they felt calling this 2.0 was incorrect. I think lots of companies out there would absolutely take the easy win and just call this a 2.0 update. To me, at least,
it's not gonna be an easy win. It's not even a win. Again, the big problem is people are not gonna interact with this shit. Like the Freelane stuff. It's exactly as what was stated at the start. No one's gonna do it. Because that's not how the game functions. That's not how the game works. Plus the planets feel like fucking pebbles. It's bad already, and I haven't even played it. Granted, I won't play it because I'm not giving Bethesda my money. But all of this has problems. All of this has massive holes in it, just from watching this. And the tedium, the repetitiveness is going to be giant. You know why no one complains about outpost building in Starfield? Because no one does it. It's that simple. No one wants to do it in the begin with. You know why no one is talking about the lack of upgrades in the game for weapons? Because no one does it. It's that simple. So, they effectively have upgraded the game in ways that matter literally for no one except the 2K people who are left playing Starfield. That's it. No one else gives a shit about any of this that they have implemented. These implementations are pretty nice, but Todd Howard was absolutely right, and that's a crazy thing to say. But he previously said that 2.0 is just going to be something more for the people who already like the game. Because it seems like fundamentally, they can't change the game. They can't fix the problems that exist that made the game bad. The power spam is just stupid. It's going to trivialize the whole of the game. I mean, having one strong power already made the game ridiculously easy, the thing that everyone floats. And now they're going to make other powers actually useful, and you can just string them together and spam them. Oh, bro, is this Elder Scrolls Online? I'm sorry, is this Elder Scrolls Online? Because it kind of feels like it, kind of looks like it at this point. All of this is technically nice, but it's for the people who already thought that this is a not complete trash tier game. And that's not a lot. For everyone else, none of these changes actually impact anything that we do.
Definitely feels like they could call it that, although I do understand why they're not. Although, like I mentioned before, that still isn't all, as on April 7th, we are also getting Terran Armada, a new $10 DLC for Starfield, but if you already own the premium edition, you're gonna get this one for free. And that's huge. A lot of you watching right now are about to get the next DLC for Starfield totally.
Okay, I'm just gonna actually Google one thing. Starfield Deluxe Edition price. Starfield Deluxe Edition price has been historically $70. Okay. Yes, how much does Starfield cost? $70. Deluxe Edition. Yeah, it is the Deluxe Edition that costs 70. Starfield Digital Product Pricing Range. Digital Premium. Okay, yeah, so it's the premium. Okay. And now let's look at Starfield price. Let's see how much that bad boy costs on Steam. Oh, look at that. It costs $50. Okay. Starfield Shattered Space price. Okay, the Shattered Space price was $20. And a 30% positive review scored by 5K people. Disgusting. So, you're telling me, by buying the Deluxe Edition, I'm saving $10 in expansions? Pog. Pog. Wow. That is greedy.
For free, just because you want to play Starfield a few days early. Terran Armada is going to be quite different in that this is going to be very dynamic location-wise, or at least it seems that way. We honestly didn't get a ton of details about the DLC, but it seems like the core story is around a group getting ready for the Colony Wars, but for some reason they never end up participating. So now they're back, wreaking havoc around these settled systems, and we have to go to these locations and fight them. These enemies are going to
Okay, great. That already sounds like it makes no sense. So you got a group that's gonna fight the Colony Wars? We know what the fuck is the Colony Wars. Don't worry about it. The moon's a vampire. Don't worry about it. That's just fate things, boys. Don't worry about it. Fate created the meme, don't worry about it, because the lore is just that fucking wild. In any case, so you're telling me Starfield's Terran Armada's DLC is a rando group of no one is somehow now a super powerhouse in the universe? So they were a part of a group. They were just a part of the groups fighting and doing stuff, and they are somehow going to be a danger to the whole of known space? Okay, that, first of all, that makes no shit of a lick of a sense. Second of all, the fact that they disappeared somewhere, which doesn't matter how it happened, parallel universes, this and that, and they are back now, and they wanna fight you for what? There's no more conflict. The conflict has ended. You don't need to fight. Why the fuck are you fighting? Like, how does that make sense? Oh wait, it doesn't. But that's typical for Starfield lore.
Use new armors and weapons, which of course we can unlock for ourselves. This new DMR is highly modifiable as a weapon platform, and one of the main new options. And the Terran Armada are going to use a ton of robots. It also seems like we'll be able to get some robot companions of our own. We get some B-roll footage of this little pet that we can get, although it does seem like this guy can fight enemies for you.
Oh wow, look at that! It's a verse. It's a verse version of every iBot companion in every game. Wow, Edie.
Seems like there's some larger robot companions as well. But also a huge part of the DLC gameplay-wise will be space incursions, where basically the Terran Armada can invade and prevent grav jumps. So you're going to be forced into fighting them, and it seems like a lot of this will happen on their ships, with you hopefully winning and blowing up the Terran Armada ships in the end, which does create this really cool visual. And said that a lot of these battles will occur on these larger
Looks scuffed.
M-class ships, and you could also find some of the enemies will have these new modifiers that should make the fights even tougher, almost like legendary effects on them beyond just giving more health. Certain features
It's almost like that's a Fallout 76 thing. Well, technically it's a Fallout 4 thing.
are going to be a part of Terran Armada. I think there honestly might be some confusion around all of this after the preview. What is going to be a paid feature included with the DLC versus a free feature with the update? Like, there's this big credit dump player home that's a mansion in an asteroid that you can buy, but I think that's a DLC feature. This new robot companion, like I mentioned before, pretty sure that's DLC. And perhaps the biggest new thing, a plethora of new ship parts, including some much larger areas to really feel like a captain on your ship. It also includes these new outpost modules that are going to be fully furnished for those that don't feel like building out their own outpost. This one almost feels like it should be part of the free update, but I'm pretty sure this was a paid DLC feature. And overall, Terran Armada didn't wow me. Nothing in the DLC looked bad, it just doesn't look all that crazy to me, and it being $10 definitely felt like a good thing. To me, Freelanes looks like the real star of the show, with Terran Armada just being a nice cherry on top that many of us will get for free anyway. But overall, I was impressed. This makes the future of Starfield look a lot more promising to me. Nobody at Bethesda ever
Well, that's why we don't respect your opinion, not gonna lie.
said anything around this content, although the question does remain, what's next for Starfield? This content has been in the works for a while and might have even been done for a while. During the Q&A, somebody asked what is next for Starfield, and while we did get confirmation that more is coming, it's not like the support for the game is ending with all of this. The response was more of a wait and see what happens after all of this drops, as opposed to actively working on or planning what's next. That's to say, I wouldn't expect Bethesda to start pumping out Starfield updates again. I think less and bigger updates could work better here, and I think that's how they see it. All the while, verified verified creators can serve the audience with paid mods. A major part of this presentation at Bethesda was also exposing the media to paid mods via Kingath Creations, and what they had to show off was really impressive. We got a peek at the upcoming Fallout 4 creation involving the original voice actors for Nate and Nora. This is seemingly dropping from Bethesda at some point, but was made by Kingath Creations. And even something.
Well, at least someone's making money outside of Bethesda. Anyway, that was Juicehead. Wow. This is not gonna be good, needless to say. 10 out of 10, bye.